Hi guys, Glitch here back with another video, and today we'll just be going over a fight that many people view as one-sided in one side of the Naruto community and view as pretty even on another side. So if you like this type of videos, please remember to like and subscribe, and let's get into the actual video. The reason I feel this fight is so interesting is because both of them have fought one of the main characters, those being Naruto or Sasuke. We see that the Raikage, obviously within Naruto, he's famed as someone who is really fast and someone who's one of, if not the fastest shinobi of his time by his own opinion. And we also see that Pain is just considered to be a god among shinobi, someone who stands above all of the rest, and including the likes of the Sonnen. But who really is the strongest between them? If you want to find out, watch later on in the video. Maybe you find out something new, and yeah, remember to leave a like and subscribe. And let's get into the strength of the Raikage. We see the Raikage is consistently displayed as some sort of speedster throughout the Narutoverse. He states to himself while he's in version 1 that there's no shinobi who is faster than him. Even after matching up with Casey and one Naruto, he still believes that there's no one faster than him, implying that he could be holding back against them. He also has other statements such as being stated not inferior to the Yellow Flash. Yellow Flash should obviously be referring to Jonin Minato, seeing as that was his title when he was a Jonin, and obviously his title would change from Jonin, the Yellow Flash I should say, to the Hokage, right? Apart from those two statements, if you don't believe they are clear enough, we see that he's shown to be relative to 3 Tomoe Sasuke whenever he's using Chidori. They both rush at each other at similar times, with the Raikage even starting after Chidori Sasuke, and yet they still are able to at least to throw off a similar exchange of blows. Even though Sasuke is able to evade him because of his Sharingan, he should still display that they are at least relative whenever Sasuke is using his Chidori. He's also just displayed to be holding back on this Sasuke, as you see that Karin notes that he's exerting shocking amounts of chakra whenever he's about to do the Liger Bomb, which would imply that he isn't obviously going at his full strength, since he has more chakra he can use to amplify himself while in V1. During his fight against Madara, we see that he is stated to be faster than Tsunade. Whether or not you interpret this as whenever he's getting lightened by Onoki is up to you. However, I believe this should be supported by Madara's thinking he's some sort of fast shinobi and thinking he's teleporting whenever he fights him in V1, which would again just imply that the Raikage just has this whole narrative of being really fast and really strong. However, his AP doesn't really scale back to his durability. Now, on to the leader of the Pain Village and the person who really changed Naruto's ideology and made him change his view on the world. Pain, or Nagato, whichever one you want to call him. Pain has constantly been described as this sort of god who scales above the likes of the Sonnen, with Orochimaru in the game stating that he can't take any major action because of Pain, as well as the fact that Pain himself is casually able to block and beat up Orochimaru in their little encounter they have. Whether or not you want to argue that Orochimaru is holding back or not is up to you. However, I believe it's more supported that he would be going all out due to his obsession with Dojutsu. Pain has been shown to be able to dodge things like the Rasen Shuriken from a Sage Mode amped Naruto, who's just gotten resolve amped by his father Minato, with his doubt being stated to have cleared, which would obviously make him stronger, right? These Rasen Shuriken are implied to take up a major chunk of Naruto's chakra, right, with him only being able to use 2. This would imply that since they take up a large amount of his Sage Mode chakra, and the Sage Mode chakra is something that's primarily used to amp the speed and strength of his ninjutsu, it just means that his Sage Mode Rasen Shuriken should at least be able to scale up to his or above his base Sage Mode physicals, which would again support the point I'm about to move on to. Sage Mode Naruto has been described to be someone who is above the likes of the Sonnen, with him being narratively implied to be stronger than someone like Jiraiya. So nowadays states that Naruto's whole point of his training is to become someone who is able to surpass Jiraiya, as well as multiple other narrative implications that imply that since Naruto is able to gain Sage Mode energy faster, that therefore that would be a reason why he's stronger. We see he's able to block Sagemon Naruto's attacks, which would again imply that he is faster than this Naruto, as well as the fact that since he's holding back here, since he isn't trying to kill Naruto, it just implies that he's just massively above the likes of Sagemon Naruto and the Sonnen, even while not using all of his strength. Once his power returns, we see he's easily able to use his almighty pull to be able to bully Naruto, grabbing him by the neck and choke holding him, and even body slamming him to the ground. With only 4 Tails Naruto being able to escape, and even when Naruto is in a still position, which gives him the perfect opportunity to go into Sage mode, we see he doesn't do so, and in fact Kurama has to take over, which would imply that his Sage mode self isn't strong enough to. We also see that like Pain is able to block attacks from a 6 Tails Naruto and keep up with them and at least be on par with them. This is really important because you see 6 Tails Naruto should be massively above Sage mode, right? Due to the fact that Sage mode is just something that doesn't really give him that much of a problem, whereas 6 Tails is something that he feels as if he needs to use the Shibako Tensei on. The reason I'm bringing this up is because I believe that 6 Tails Naruto should be above the likes of KCM1. However, I want to get into that in another video, so I won't really get into that now. Apart from those blatant feats of strength, we see that Pain is also stated to be the definition of the word powerful in one of those weekly chapter things whenever they write the text on the side of the manga panel. I really can't explain it here because I don't know enough about it. However, right, it should just really go to show us that Kishimoto is trying to push this narrative that Pain should be massively above the rest of the shinobi world, which should include the Raikage, if you interpret it that way. He is also stated to be the strongest man in the Akatsuki, a statement that has been causing many Itachi fans to fear and cower in their boots for a long time. And other people think there's a contradiction there, but we'll explain that in the conclusion of this video. Again, if you like this type of videos, please remember to like and subscribe before we segue into the conclusion. To wrap up this video, I believe that Pain would win with extremely low difficulty. The reason being to first address some of Pain's common counter arguments, that one, he's relative or below Sage Mode Naruto. This isn't shown at all, seeing as since Sage Mode should be a drastic buff to your base stats, and Pain is able to fight both base and Sage Mode Naruto, it should go to show that Pain is adjusting his strength to fight each version of Naruto to make sure that he isn't going to kill him, which has been a constant thing with Pain when he's trying to break Naruto's ideology instead of killing him and trying to convince him to come peacefully instead of fighting against them. We also see he should be fatigued against this Naruto as well, due to the fact that he expends loads of chakra using the chaotic Shinra Tensei, which is stated to shorten his life. It takes so much chakra that it causes him to physically bleed, and I feel as if I've already gone over this in a past video, so if I were you, I'd scroll through all of my videos to find where I talked about it. But to just skim over him, none of Pain's other jutsu or none of the other jutsu shown within the series, apart from whenever Inoichi does it within the war arc, have been shown to cause you physical pain or physical bleeding. This should just imply the amount of chakra that is taken up whenever he uses this jutsu. We should also just go to note that he should be above 6 Tails Naruto, seeing as he's easily able to outpace him whenever 6 Tails Naruto is trying to chase after him, as well as the fact that his whole point is just to get to Nagato so that he's able to use the chaotic or the Chibako Tensei, I should say, which would again imply that he's in trying to fight him, as well as the fact that he's able to use his almighty pull to be able to like knock 6 Tails Naruto around before he's able to use a Biju Bomb, which would again just show some form of him being above somewhat. Now, people like to try and contradict the strongest man in the Akatsuki statement by using feats from Orange Mask Obito. However, Orange Mask Obito doesn't scale above Pain. That's a pretty controversial take, but he doesn't scale above Pain. The reason I don't believe he scales above Pain is one, because there is no correlation between him in Yellow Mask and him in Orange Mask. We see that him in Yellow Mask is able to continuously control the Nine Tails without the use of his like MS or anything, right? Whereas whenever he's in his Orange Mask day, we see it stated that no one in the third data book, that no one is able to control the Nine Tails. This would just imply that Obito has just gotten weaker from his fight against Minato, or because he hasn't been doing much since his fight with Minato, his stats have just stagnated or even gotten worse. Apart from the fact that he isn't in physical combat, there's no reason for anyone to ever believe that Orange Mask Obito is stronger, seeing as he doesn't display any feats, and his whole thing, which he even states himself, is that he's been moving with caution until Nagato died, which would again just give more implications that he doesn't believe he wants, or he doesn't want to tangle with Nagato, which would again just imply some sort of like Nagato being above, right? Along with that, it should just be narratively implied that Nagato is just this strong, and Nagato is just stronger than everyone else he fights or everyone else he's like put up against, up until the war arc, of course. And the reason being because of the several statements that I've showed in my Kisame video, which obviously don't apply to Kisame, that just implied that he should be the strongest person in the Akatsuki, bar like some other people who shouldn't be included in this, right? I've already explained this before because I'm not trying to like clash with my Kisame video in any way, shape or form, but it should just be narratively implied that Pain is just on this level, which no one else, even the Sanin, who are implied to be on the level of the Gokage whenever they are working together, right? So if Pain should be above all of the Sanin, and the Sanin should scale at least relative to the Gokage, then it should be pretty clear how much above Pain is than the Gokage and people like the Raikage, seeing how he did Jiraiya himself, who has been stated to be above the likes of the Sanin. Now, to debunk some of the Raikage's common arguments, for some reason, people believe that he's relative to Johnny Minato. However, I don't believe this is the case, because for one, he has no real gauge on how fast Minato is. All he's seen is Minato being able to dodge his fastest punch, and nothing implies that Minato is going all out there. Two, the databook statement that has been made, I don't believe it should actually represent Minato's stats, because one, not being inferior to someone doesn't necessarily imply some sort of relativity. All it can imply is that he wouldn't get as blitzed as he wouldn't get as like blitzed as hard as he did before, because it could just be an aspect of he believes he's inferior until he goes into like until he trains and all of that stuff, and then he finally believes he isn't going to do as badly. That's basically my interpretation of it. Or you could just argue this is just contradicted, seeing his KCM1 Naruto who blitzes past the Raikage completely, which has been calculated to be over 80 times faster is compared to the Yellow Flash in speed, or it's like fast just like the Yellow Flash. So it should just imply narratively that the Raikage just isn't on this level in terms of speed, right? People also like to argue that like the Raikage got stronger after his fight from like Minato, but no one can really prove that anyway. Now, to just explain why MS Sasuke should be relative to the Raikage, we see that his Amaterasu is able to activate like before the Raikage can hit him. I don't really think I need to get into that much because that's just blatantly shown, right? Unless your opponent is trying to be dishonest, or whoever you're discussing with is trying to be dishonest. I don't think they should really have a problem with that, right? And then, with that said, right, we see that his Susanoo should obviously scale above the likes of his Amaterasu in terms of speed, because you see whenever he goes to attack someone or he's trying to kill someone as fast as possible, he doesn't go to use his Amaterasu, which should be the better option because it burns people forever and it's like more highly offensive than the Susanoo. He chooses to use his Susanoo arrow, and he shows great shock whenever his Susanoo arrow is like dodged, which would again just imply that his Susanoo arrow is just like, and his Susanoo in general is just faster than than his Amaterasu or any of his other abilities. Apart from that, it's also stated that his Susanoo is his strongest ocular ability within the data books, right? I'll put it up on screen if I can find it. So with all of this said, it should just be clearly implied that MS Sasuke should be on this level, right? As well as that, we see that this MS Sasuke goes on to get stronger, and then he goes on to finally become a Sage Mode Naruto rival, right? So, and because of multiple statements made, it should just imply that since this Raikage is just like at least on the level of Sage Mode Naruto, at least if you really want to upscale him, even though I believe he gets blitzed, that's really generous if you for all the Raikage fans. But yeah, I don't really think I need to cover much more of this because any other Raikage arguments would just blatantly be ratting. So if you like these type of videos, again, please remember to like and subscribe, hit that notification bell, and yeah, have a nice day.